Hello and welcome to your Narrative Hybrid Objects. My name is Eric, and today we're going to be taking multiple objects, trying to combine them into our own unique subject. I do have a lot of objects here. I have a skull, I have a roll of tape, some blending stumps. I actually think the blending stumps are kind of an interesting form. Got this sort of camel dude. He's looking good. Headphones, a hairdryer for drying tape. This little emaciated guy, little foot massage roller thing. So just a bunch of random stuff. The goal of this is going to be to create a unique subject, whether that be a very odd object or a very odd creature, I suppose. Both are acceptable. I do think because I have this camel and this skull and this guy here, I am going to be trying to create a creature rather than an object. But either are acceptable. Remember that when we are combining objects, you do not have to draw the entire object. You could. I think I'm going to be starting with the skull. It's such a dynamic space. And then I'm going to build a creature off of the skull. I think that'll look nice. Probably the neck of the camel coming into this. Also think about scaling on this. And you'll notice when I start drawing, if I do this, I'm not sure, but I think I'm going to. The skull first and the camel body, or part of the camel body coming into it. Sorry, it's like super heavy. Just because the skull is significantly larger than the camel does not mean that has to be those proportions. I can blow proportions up or make things larger or smaller. I can basically do whatever I want as long as I am using objects from around my house as source material. Maybe even adding some of these spikes into the skull. I think that's going to be rad too from these blending stumps. So find things that have interesting little details, things that you can observe, things that have specific angles in them that can give you interesting things to observe and draw. Remember, you're going to be starting in your contour stage. You're going to be sketching this out. And then once it is sketched, you are going to be adding value, either in graphite or charcoal, to create a finished drawing throughout the space. So I'm going to get going here. I'm going to be starting with some of my more intricate objects, building in, and we'll see what happens. All right, here we go. All right, so I haven't dealt with all the detail, but I have basically sketched out my very bizarre creature here. Notice I have, maybe 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and I copied the hairdryer twice. A good amount of objects is at least 5. You can have as many as 10. Somewhere between 5 and 10 is going to be good, but at least 5. You also do not have to create a creature like I have, a sort of weird thing here with with hairdryer turrets or something. I don't really know, and a power cord tail. But you do want to come in and draw from observation of multiple objects. You could create a very bizarre object or a very bizarre creature. That is up to you. This is just the first step. I have just sketched out fairly quickly. I definitely still have detail to bounce around in. My second pass, I'm going to be adding all of that detail and adding value. But as far as my first steps, I'm looking pretty good as far as planning composition, planning what my guy looks like. And then I'm also going to be doing a very basic background. You can see the ground plane here. I'm starting to do some mountain ranges here, maybe some sky space in here. We'll see how it turns out. Okay, but as far as the first steps and sketching out my plan, I am pretty good, and now I'm ready to take my second pass and push this drawing to a finished state.